Good evening, peeps, and welcome to the music scene. In this once-a-week show, we'll be taking a look at the music scene in general across the Maltese Islands. We'll be discussing the gigs that have taken place and helping you fill your diaries with musical events for the coming weeks. Plus, each week we'll have an exclusive interview with one of Malta's biggest artists. We'll be playing their music, watching their videos, following their gigs, and finding out from the horse's mouth exactly what it's like to be a top musician in Malta. In this episode, we'll be talking to awesome rock group Airport Impressions. But first up, let's take a look at some of the gigs that happened earlier in the year. We've just finished Slima Arts Fest, which takes over Slima for a long weekend, including Rock the Beach from the creators of Rock the South, held on Slima Beach between Exiles and Surfside. This year at Rock the Beach, there was 3 evenings of live music from known bands like No Snow No Alps, Michaela, Areola Treat and The Phobics. There was actually 15 bands in total performing at the gig, and that was just one small part of the festival. Apart from that, from midday to 5 PM every day, open mic sessions and jamming. Now, I've been reporting on the music scene here in Malta for about 2 years, and it never ceases to amaze me how much opportunity there is for young and up-and-coming musicians. If you're a bedroom musician and you're good, do something about it, because you're in the right place. Now then, very shortly we'll be chatting to Errol and Chris from Airport Impressions. If you haven't heard of them, then shame on you, but we don't judge here at the music scene, so just to whet your appetite, here's a sneak preview at Airport Impressions performing live.
You carry the golden hair, dance to the Rolling Stones. He was the king in town, I was born. But I wasn't born so brave that day. Oh, you walk alone. I grew afraid of what you thought you saw. I will wait on my own till I hear all you said. I will fade all I got for you to stay. There's a revelation calling, in a conversation falling somewhere downtown Berlin.
Awesome stuff. Now stay tuned, because very shortly we'll be chatting to Errol and Chris from Airport Impressions. Until then, we'll see you in 3 here at the music scene. So welcome back to the music scene on location at Las Palmas Beach Restaurant at Bahar Itcha. Ladies and gents, we're here with Errol and Chris from Airport Impressions.
Hello.
Boom. How are you?
I'm fine.
Cheers, bro. Thanks for coming in today and meeting us here. I'm sure you're busy. I've tried to make a nice location for you.
It is.
So we can relax.
It is.
When I first met you guys, you were brandishing this CD, Mariette, still your current album.
Yeah.
And I believe you were about 2 months after the release of Hymns of June. Actually, it wasn't you, Chris. I met you, Errol, with Johan at the time.
Yeah.
About 2 months.
No, when we met first time,
First time, yeah.
It was March, I think, yeah.
Yeah, 2 months after Hymns of June.
I was a boy staring outside of my room, staring through eyes that dreamed of a bride and groom. Unfortunate souls that have been there.
Lots has happened since then, but just in case the audience don't know about airport impressions, shame on you, we're going to do 20 questions with airport impressions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, firstly, who makes up, obviously we've got two of you here today, the band's bigger than that. Who makes up airport impressions and what do they do?
Basically, we're a four-man lineup, basic as we know it, the rock lineup, like 2 guitar players,
Yep.
and bass player, and drums. Obviously, we use keyboards and stuff, but that Chris does that on the side as well. So basically, I'm the main vocals and I play guitar, mostly rhythm. Johan, who's not here today, plays lead guitars and other guitars. Steve, who's also not here today, he's a drummer. And Chris, who's bass player, stroke keyboards.
Bass and keys, fantastic. How long have the band been together now?
March,
years, right?
coming March next year we'll hit the 8th year. So
8 years.
it's the longest time I've been in the band. I'll tell you that.
And a relationship.
I bet it's a bit like a relationship sometimes, isn't it? But with 4 people, which is always difficult. Who's the most fun?
Everybody has their own moments, let's say that. But I believe Errol with the drinking it.
During gig or post gig?
Post.
Post. I'm trying to cut it low on the live thing.
Tell me about it, man.
So, you know. I'd say sober-wise Steve though.
Yeah.
He keeps the funny moments in the band running all the time. He gets a bit of tension, you turn to Steve.
Okay, good. So he's like the humour, he's like
He
the
is,
joker.
yeah.
Fantastic. Who's the biggest bore?
I believe I am, I think.
Really?
Because I don't speak a lot.
You just
to
get on with the
people.
job, right?
Yes. They're like, if you want to speak to airport impressions, they're the guys which will go on. I will like, okay.
Okay, well, I appreciate you coming here today then, if that's the case. And who's the troublemaker, if there is one?
Depends. Everyone can be,
Yeah.
in his own way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, depends what kind of trouble you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
if it's like picking a fight.
I was
don't
hoping you were going to tell me some secret stories about trouble that's been caused.
Yeah, all of them.
Not for TV.
No.
Obviously, you know, you love music, you love playing, writing, that's what you're doing, what you love doing. Writing songs, performing them, making videos. What for each of you is the favourite part of that journey, the favourite part of that process?
Live is its own. It's the release. So live for me, I think live is the pinnacle of it all.
Yeah.
I like songwriting, obviously, and recording. It's everything starts creating stuff, and you see things grow. But live is live.
Same for you, Chris?
Yeah, there's a whole, it's a whole process actually. There isn't just one thing of being in a band which I can say that's the favorite part, because you can definitely say it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Obviously for all of us. I mean, if you check our mailboxes for the last 7 years, like every day something came up, every day we have an idea or a cause listen. So it's even the thing that I'm actually on the go. I have something new coming up every day apart from work, and
Sure, yeah.
it's
It's a full-on commitment.
Yeah, fulfilling as well.
When if we look at the album here and we pick a track at random, let's say Mariette, the title track.
Yeah.
From the process of writing that track and coming up with that concept to having the words on the album and it's recorded, how long is that for you guys? Is it quite a long process? Or?
It is. I'd say it is, because we have different formats of writing. Like songs, there probably some of them came up. One of us came up with them, and it was pretty much the structure, and we stick to it. Some others got changed even during recording. sometimes like choruses I can remember Come Along is one of them. We actually changed the chorus twice.
During recording?
During recording we
Wow.
wrote the chorus. Come Along is actually a good example because we actually wrote the chorus in the studio, stopped recording, started jamming again in the studio, and we got up with the chorus, final chorus, because you always get overthinking and saying, oh no, this sounds too cheesy, and you know.
Yeah.
So Mariette actually was one of those which Johan wrote, and he kind of did quite a lot of work before. So it took him
So you came to the
at
band with
least
a song.
2 to 3 months to
Really?
write it completely. But we didn't change much in it, which obviously, apart from background noises and stuff, you know, the production end is always a changing thing. But it depends. The album took us, what, 96, 92 days to record, something like that. So
Wow.
because before that, there was an easy 6 months of writing. No, I mean, it takes a whole 8 months, huh? For this album, it took about 8 months.
Really.
So it's quite a process.
And then of course post-release, you're still performing the tracks on and on and on.
Then the other journey starts, rehearsing and playing the show, everything. You know, it's a full-time job. He said it to the point.
Nailed it. Do you ever find? Is there ever a moment when you're recording that, let's say, one of the band don't agree with a part of a song, but the rest of them say no, it's staying in?
All the time, and he can tell you more.
Yes.
I mean, on the Mariette album, give me an example. Is there a
No,
track where you-
as Aria said, it's a journey. It's an 8-month journey. So if somebody isn't happy with the product, obviously somebody will talk about it. So
Yes.
this album is here. It means that all 4 of us we reached
you're happy
the same
with it?
conclusion, and
Yeah.
everybody's happy with it. But obviously during songwriting, we had some.
We actually got a song out there. This was
Yeah,
supposed
we
to
have a
come out with
secret.
13 songs.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
we have
And there's a
secret.
recorded songs. We finished it.
It's a finished secret song. Nobody has ever heard it except for the 4
When
of us.
Howard was actually mixing and mastering the end part of it, we actually said no, we're gonna take the song
Just
out
leave it out the
completely
album.
because it was kind of not blending enough with
Didn't
the
work
whole
with the
12.
album. Will you use that song in the future, or just back?
We don't
Just sit
know.
down.
Probably
What
will.
about after you've recorded? So the album's come out, you're sitting there, you're performing the tracks live. Do you ever get to a point where you think, you know what, we could have done this in that song? And I'm not a musician, but I'm a writer. And there's that stage, you have to just stop yourself, because otherwise you're constantly adjusting and perfecting.
For me, if it comes to songwriting or the song structure itself, no.
Right.
Maybe some certain sounds or etc. Yes, maybe. But even then, we
But you sign
work
it
on
off.
it.
Once it's done,
Yes.
We do take our time, yeah? We take a
take
lot of time to kind of find, like, we are, all 4 of us, we are overthinkers.
God, disaster.
So this, yeah, it's very stressful, as you can see. But this is quite, a second album, obviously you get a bit more experience on the job. So, not much. You obviously, there are parts when you say, I could have gone there and I could have gone there, but really minimal in this album, yeah.
Okay, great stuff. Errol, lead vocalist. Do you write the lyrics yourself, or is that also a collab with other members of the band?
Not entirely, no. Especially when Johan writes certain songs, he comes up actually with the set of lyrics as well. Obviously, I edit here and there, but minimally. Like, for example, certain loose words here and there, and maybe making them more mine.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, we've been playing so long together that even when someone of the others comes up with a riff, it's kind of made for my voice. So you know, it's like there's.
And I guess no one knows your voice better than yours, and also your intonation and how you speak. So
You always tweak a bit,
Yeah.
you know, but no, but some lyrics I wrote, some lyrics Johan wrote. There are words and certain sentences they come in as well, though they more participate music-wise, Chris and Steve. But not entirely all of them. The lyrics are split, kind of, I would say.
I saw you perform Airport Impressions live in concert at Aria Club. I've also seen you guys perform various smaller acoustic gigs around Malta. One thing that struck me at the Aria gig was your sound live is much bigger, in my opinion anyway, much bigger and rockier than your recorded sound. Really, I'm asking, is that deliberate, or is that just a case of the nature of performing live?
Yeah. Well, we like to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. So if you play, some things agree with us, some people agree with us, some people don't.
Right.
We like to mix it up. Even we invite new musicians to the
Right,
to
because you
our
had other
live
musicians
set.
joining you
Yeah,
on
yeah.
stage, didn't you?
That way we keep the music fresh. So yeah, I think it's on purpose. So maybe we don't even know ourselves if it's on purpose, but
Sure.
We try to do the best and keep the performance as fresh as possible.
I assume in the studio you're recording each part of the track
Yeah.
separate. So when you're live in front of an audience, you've got that immediate feedback
Yeah.
from the crowd, whether they're cheering or whatever, which obviously they are. That must help.
And yeah, one thing we want to try, we've been talking about it, I've talked about it with you as well before the show, that we want to experience also a recording which is the old way, I'd say. Like it's a session, we put the band in studio together and capture
Record it
it
as
together.
one.
Record as one. Because the old, like the Doors used to do and Led Zeppelin used to do in the old way. Because you kind of capture things that are raw, and we like that raw thing. Although the album does sound quite planned and certain songs are just really planned.
Sure.
To sound right, not planned as in pre-planned or something like that. But live sound, in my opinion, and probably the guys as well, it's like raw, and and even as the show goes, we have a habit of tweaking.
Just cranking it a bit, turn the gain up.
He's the culprit. So he starts, the bass starts, boom, 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 and then and by the end of the show, we're all
And then one has to turn it up to reach the same point.
and
Exactly.
gainy.
So welcome back to the music scene once again. We're here with Airport Impressions, but let's take a look at their latest release, Star Signs.
They say our songs are all inside. As we took a road without a sight. To save our dreams from falling down. Yeah, we threw our heart into the sun.
Your current single, Star Signs, the inspiration behind the song, what's the song about?
It's about the musical journey, but it does hit certain like factors like hope, because obviously when you're a musician, you're always hoping to take things to a bigger perspective, especially off the shores of the country as well. But it also signifies something we all believe a lot in, and the video actually shows that, which is freedom. We we have a song actually called Freedom in the first time.
Right.
We do believe that actually the freer you are, obviously the more you can express yourself, no? And basically the song mostly talks about our journey, which is music, like, you gotta keep on there, and there's the bit where it comes in the middle eight, which says like, you will never choke on fear of what the unknown, where you lose heart because, we're a small country and stuff like that. You don't care about that, you just, let it all up.
Make the music.
Just make the music and let it talk on its own.
Talking of Master Ben, obviously that's gone by. How was that gig for you? It seemed really great from the audience side.
Whole weekend, which you can't choose the day, which was better. Like, I mean, usually you get the Friday and the Saturday are more pumpy, and Sunday on the mellow. Completely untrue this year. They were all on the same level, which was, well, you were there. So
And it was a kind of semi-acoustic set, wasn't it? So you're acoustic with. Yeah,
What we like to do in the band is vary the setup. A lot of times we do, like even duo-wise, we get asked to do some duos, privately or not privately. We vary them. Sometimes Chris comes and does the gig with me, and he plays acoustic, doesn't play the bass.
Ah,
We like
okay.
varying. He gets the double bass, or Johan, electric and acoustic and classic. I think it keeps it going, even for us. I mean,
Keeps it
how long
fresh.
can you play the same set? It's also a time thing, I think. Lately, I mean, a lot of bands, you say, I mean, one of my actually favorite bands as well, Imagine Dragons, which are relatively new, they're like changing their show. The singer goes and plays the toms on the drums. I think at the moment it's pretty expected, I'd say, from certain fans. You don't see the same four doing the same thing for an hour and a half all the time. Yeah. Static. I think it helps, no? With just the background images and stuff. It's a whole show. It's a show.
It's a show, absolutely. And also, any more gigs coming up in your calendar this summer?
Yes, we've just confirmed another gig in September. It's going to be the 5th, but details yet. We just confirmed it yesterday, so we're still on with the details and
5th
stuff.
of September.
But 5th September, for those who can keep it free, we'll be updating our Facebook page and obviously our website. So we're going to be informing. That probably would be the last gig of the year, so, you know.
Thank you, gents. It's been an absolute pleasure. So big love to the boys, but now let's take a look at what's on for your diary over the coming weeks. Of course, the 24th of July to the 2nd of August is the epic Fasten's Great Beer Festival. Beer and music. What more could anyone want? Just to give you a taster of some of the artists confirmed for this year's event, I've got my list here. Aria The Riffs, the New Victorians, Airport Impressions, which joined us on the show tonight. They're playing the main stage. Pink Floyd The Wall, a Queen tribute show, Tribali, Thea, and the Jules Reggae Party. And on the rock stage at the same Fasten's Great Beer Festival, we've got Water Wings, Massacre House Party, No Snow No Alps, who we interviewed earlier in the series, Jane Doe, Red Electric, The Voyage, Fuzz Honeys, and Club Murder. In total, there'll be 49 acts playing the beer festival. We've only got time to mention a few of them here, but make sure you go. Be there or be ridiculous. And if rock isn't your thing, then get ready for Creamfields 2015 on August the 14th. One of the biggest dance festivals in Malta, bringing in international acts as well as local, and covering trance, techno, deep house, tech house, and progressive. It's your ultimate solution to your dance needs. So thanks once again to Airport Impressions for joining us today. You can catch us here at the Music Scene every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. and every Sunday at 10 p.m. Find us on facebook.com/The Scene in Malta, or search for our YouTube channel under Brave Media Malta. I've been Paul Roberts. You can catch me on One Radio Thursdays at 7 o'clock p.m. and Fridays at 6:20. Until then, stay sexy and musical. Ciao.